Win-win situation. I want to do this one. Big Spender. Hey, Mr. Whiskers. Hey, Grandpa. Hey, almost free. And that's our lesson for this week. Next week we will play Look for the Damn Lava, which went with the lava lamp. I spent 12 pesos on this. I'm not going to just throw it away. It's good money. Good money. Thank you, Big Spender. And I guess that's all we'll do for this week.
Okay. Hi, I'm Chris Undank. I've known Dave for quite a long time. I first met Dave, actually, to go back a little bit further, me and his brother Dano back here, Dan Black, have been friends since we were skipping school together while we were supposed to be attending Alton High. And we won't go into the list of things that we were doing while we were skipping school because I don't know if there's statutes of limitations on some of these or not. But anyway, I got working with Dave at the Stratford. He trained me to be a desk clerk there. And Dave, first time I seen him, I'm like, oh, this guy's high. And I'm like, I'm gonna get him high. And he goes, come on, man, let's smoke some pot. He's like, no, I don't do anything. I'm an AA and A. I'm totally sober. I'm like, no, dude, you're stoned out of your mind. Look at you. And so that's how that got. And then we figured out that he was actually Dano's brother. And it just kind of went on from there. Yeah. My lifestyle eventually led me to a place where it always does, either in prison or dead. And I ended up in prison, obviously, because I'm here. But when I got out, he did nothing but encourage me. He's always sent me encouraging messages from the day I got out to go ahead and pursue my dreams. I'll be a certified chef in a little over a year from SWIC. And Dave did anything he could to help me out along the way, encourage me, and not to go back to a life of crime. So he's a good guy. He was my brother, and he will certainly be missed. But he was also a great humanist and just a great man. It takes a lot of courage to face cancer and death the way he did. So here's to Dave, and fuck cancer.
I am James Sheffield, and I met Dave in 1990 when I entered the radio program at Lewis and Clark Community College, and Dan Pyle was there too. I was the youngest. I just clarified this. Dan was next up, and Dave was the third to the youngest. So it was funny on how there was a pattern that Dave and I followed. It's like we started off on the radio. Uh, I went from a job where I had a car accident at Pizza Hut, and Dave said, "Come work at the Stratford." So Dave got me the job at the Stratford. He is accredited for that. Right up on the hill up there, we've got many, many memories there, and we always, I hate to say it, I think we could have wrote a book about some of the tenants and some of the crazy things that went on there. I don't know if he ever did or not. I never read any of the books, but there was a lot of people there. Yes. Oh yeah, we can't talk about that. Yeah. Um, but then yeah, maybe. But every so often I'd come across Dave. I mean, just Dave was always there. I mean, whenever I came back from home from college, I would keep tabs on what he was doing. I know he worked at the Super 8. He had his own DJ service, and from there I'm not sure exactly what happened, but then I started seeing him run and jog, and he was running up and down seminary, and I'd see him, and I'd stop, say hi, and I'd give him a water, or just to shoot the breeze. And eventually, I saw him at. I knew he was going into education. I was going into education. We kind of followed those same paths. I saw him at Boardmore when he was out there, and I'd stop and say hi. I'd be playing softball, and I just talked to him for minutes, sometimes half an hour. That's the way Dave was. It's like once you got a conversation with Dave, you were there for probably about 30 minutes or so, just talking about all sorts of things, and you could never get the last word because he always got the last word. So me and him both were the same way, and then we were constantly going around and around like that. But I'll remember Dave. I like the memory that you gave of him and the long black trench coat. I forgot all about that. He had the long black trench coat at Lewis and Clark, and he would go outside and uh, he'd be smoking, and yeah, he kind of reminded me of a mafia guy. Now that I think about it, but a lot of great memories with him, and I remember even first night, every first night I would see him with his face painted up, and just we would talk again and kind of catch up. But last time I saw him was at the bread company in February, and I really didn't know how bad Dave was until he said it got to his brain, and then that's what I kind of knew it was only a matter of time. So I will never forget him.
Anybody else?
I'm Brian, and unfortunately I didn't get to know Dave until just the last year. And the things that really struck me about Dave is he's one of those people that he takes his family and his friends very seriously, but he didn't take himself very seriously, and I think that's really cool. And he taught me that the clock's ticking on all of us, and the alarm's going to go off at a different time for each one of us, but even though we know that alarm's going to go off, it doesn't mean we don't stop dreaming. It doesn't mean we don't stop laughing, or we don't stop, enjoying what we're doing. And beyond Dave, just those guys from Epic Coffee Time, and I was just saying, we should all have such terrible friends that would stop what they're doing to spend as much time as possible with you and to celebrate your life and the things that you think about and the things you believe in. And I think that is just awesome, and what a great testament to Dave and how people actually really feel about him, and always will. And thanks, Dave.
Anybody else? John? I got to know Dave through the Epic Coffee Time guys, and right away he's one of those unforgettable people you wish you knew longer if you didn't know, if you didn't grow up with him. Just a great one of a kind guy, an original. And what struck me, knowing me from the time I knew him, I knew the diagnosis. It seemed like he was optimistic and a realist at the same time, just great balance. But the thing that struck me is how he was strong for everybody around him. He just always, there's always that heaviness in the room. Oh, someone has this cancer diagnosis, you don't know what to say. Dave never let you get in that position. He always lowered the pressure in the room. He was strong for everybody else. Just a one-of-a-kind personality, and I just wish I'd have known him longer. Great guy, great one-of-a-kind, and I'll never forget the laughs. God bless you, Dave. Anybody else as I walk in the front of the room? Camera guy? What? This is the Epic Coffee Time camera guy, Dominic.
Dominic, of course, the special needs cameraman. I've only known David for the time that Epic Coffee Time started, and when I met him, all I was like, why is Santa showing up at her house? Then, as I got to know him, he was a pretty funny guy with a great personality. And the stories that my dad had told me about with him and Dan, I thought he's a great guy, and he put everybody from everybody's needs in front of his self needs. And I don't have much to say, but I think he's a really close family member to me, and I love you, Dave.
Alright. Producer Dan's still running the show, so he told me that I think you're up next, Ms. Wayne.
Alright. Thank you. Probably run into something otherwise.
Tell me where.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Need a microphone? I'll hold it.
Yeah. I try to balance the words on my lap because I didn't memorize them. Hi, I'm Spiral, and I can echo the sentiments expressed by some in the room that I feel bummed that I didn't get to know Dave for a longer period in my life. I grew up pretty nearby here in the area in East Alton, Wood River, and after high school and college, I was away for almost 20 years, and a couple of years ago, I moved back here because my dad and stepmom they were in bad health and needed some help. So I was finding myself in a position in life to be able to move back and help them out. And I've lived kind of an unusual life, kind of unconventional, where I don't really drive. I usually just have a bike wherever I go, and so I moved here without a bike, figuring like I just acquire one after I got here. And my dad, even though I think he thought that was pretty weird, he's like, right away within the first couple months, he's like, okay, I know a guy. Dad participated in a certain group. I won't name any names. Like something anonymous. Telling on each other and stuff. But so I knew this guy Dave, and he had a bike that his son had outgrown that he was looking to get rid of. And that was my first time meeting Dave. He came over to the house, and that was my first bike when I moved here. So I got to meet him a little then, and I found it, and this is before his cancer diagnosis. I found it heartening right away that like, wow, there's other people around here that actually ride bikes around. Cool. And so, I only saw him. That was in 2012. I saw him a couple times after that, and got connected on Facebook, and that fall, and just could tell right away. This is someone that share a lot of similar values and feelings. Which I was a little worried moving back into this area. But it turned out here's Dave and Kim that are union activists and fighting for a lot of things, same kind of things that I care about. And at some point that fall, on his posts, he was sort of alluding to this medical problem diagnosis he had, but he wasn't going to tell everyone what it was because he wanted to wait till after the election, because he thought it was more important to focus on the bigger picture stuff rather than his own problems. And so after that, and in the last couple of years, I had the opportunity to interact with him in person more times, and it just so happened that my dad died a little over a year ago, and he's a lot older. He's 78. He had COPD and all this terrible chronic respiratory stuff. But last year there was this amazing surprise birthday party for Dave, put on by Kim and his brother, and it really meant a lot to Dave that my dad was there. I mean, even though my dad was in bad health, he never ever wanted to miss social get together or something to honor someone at a special time, whether it was a birthday, funeral, no matter what. And I think Dave was the same way too. He'd always come to whatever it was, no matter how bad he was feeling, if he possibly could. In the last weeks of his life, he said to me, like, oh, if coffee time's happening tonight, I'm not there. That tells you how bad I feel. So, it's like real commitment there. On the day my dad died, I was kind of keeping everyone up to date on Facebook, and it was. I think I made one post about it, and later that day, Dave and Lars came over, and they were coming to visit. And they came in. I thought they were coming, to express condolences, and they came in. I'm just here, and I realized after a moment he didn't realize my dad had already passed, and I had to tell him, and he was sad, and it was a sad moment, and Lars was comforting him, and Dave said, damn it, your dad, I always hated following him in a meeting because he was such a good storyteller that no one wanted to go after him, because and now it's just the same thing, and so it doesn't sound as funny me telling it, but it's one of the things I got from him, the importance of finding humor and light even in the darkest situations. I'm gonna play a little song for you, and I hope it doesn't suck. I didn't practice it in the spirit of Epic Coffee Time. I didn't do a lot of rehearsal and stuff, but this song, I didn't write it. My name is Eliza Gilgeson. It's one my dad liked a lot and found a lot of things to relate to. Sort of the, falling into badness and then, coming into redemption kind of thing. It doesn't, reflect Dave or my dad, directly. They didn't, try to imitate Elvis or do heroin, but I think there's some themes in it that are more universal, so we'll try. And if it sucks, I'm sorry. The word thing is hard. Forgot my music stand. Okay, yeah, sorry, got on the door.
This is us.
And then at the end, and then at a certain point, it's gonna be like, okay, turn the page. All right. So,
Got it.
very professional.
Just ignore me.
Yes. Right. He was the black sheep of the family. How did mamas pride and joy and go from such a precious baby to the devil's poster boy? I'm gonna slick my hair like Elvis really hard. Okay, now I can change it. He loved that funky music. He knew the back road scene. Every honky-tonk and blues band between here and New Orleans. He put down the bottle, October '89. Eased up on the throttle and bought him a little time. But he was a midnight rider. He burned that candle down, hanging out on Easy Street on the dark side of town. I didn't write the chords on the second page. I think I'll settle down along the banks of Onion Creek with a pickup and a hound dog and a little Lucky Streak. He nursed that fragile plane through the hurricanes and drought. It was a summer wind that came in and blew the candle out. But he was a midnight rider. He burned that candle down, hanging out on Easy Dozen Street on the dark side of town. Okay.
That was really awesome. All right, we're also, Dave was a big fan of karaoke. Kim probably didn't know that. So, we're going to do a karaoke song. Do I need stage lights? No, you can't see the screen then. All right, so Dominic's going to start the karaoke. We're going to sing Wish You Were Here for Dave in the style of Pink Floyd. So if everybody wants to just sing along and let it all out, nobody's going to see you. Skip Sailing, psychic Skip Sailing.
Hey, hi everybody. I want everybody to belt this out. Now David sang, all right, and Spiral sang, and you got no excuses for the way your voice sounds. All right, so let's belt this out for David when it comes around on the screen there in a little bit. Might want to take another sip. There you go, get everybody in from outside. All right, we're good. Oh, this is just a guitar part. Sing it as loud as you can. How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. But where we found the same old fear. Wish you were here. Get 'em all right, okay?
That was his password for his email.
This is dichotomy. We got the script. We got the manuscript.
That's his unpublished.
David, we miss you. We will see you somewhere. That I know, because I'm psychic.
I don't know what you got now.
Stevie, don't touch me.
That's what she said.
All right, really, I tried to fool Dave quite a bit with Skip. He didn't buy it, but he always enjoyed him. And I guess they fought against each other quite a bit. I know it's been a long night. You guys have been great, and you stuck around for a bunch of stuff. And we've let you not cry for a while. That shit's gonna change. Now, Nick, you got the next program. Thank you again for coming out and helping us celebrate Dave's life. It's been a beautiful night, and
Can everyone grab a plate of food and take it on?
absolutely, or fill your pockets. We don't give a shit if you have a plate or not. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's some long footage that we picked up when going through all of Dave's pictures. And I want to say this before we go. When we put the pictures together, it was kind of hard to find pictures of Dave with somebody else because most of them came off his phone. But what it did, it allowed me an opportunity to see life as Dave saw it, what he found interesting, the places, the sights, and all of that. And it was a wonderful journey. And I know, he had like 40 pictures of a bug, that intrigued him. But he was like that. He was fascinated by nature. He was fascinated by the world around him. And all of that came out as I'm looking through those pictures. And it was good for one, but then I'm like, damn it, Dave, you got any pictures of yourself? Because he was a selfie taker, even though he denounced it. But anyway, I'm not going to say anything more. I think this one speaks for itself.
I state my name. I'm Kim Bartholomew. David Wayne Black.
To be my husband,
To be my husband.
without no hope,
Without no hope.
in sickness and in health,
In sickness and in health.
for richer or for poorer,
For richer or for poorer.
and I promise my love to you forevermore.
And I promise my love to you forevermore.
David, I, state your name,
Clinton R. Pinckney, Kimberly, Martel Muir, to be my wife, to have and hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, and I promise my love to you forevermore. Kiss the bride and the sweet ring. Oh.
So I just wanted to read. Dave was a writer. He wrote a lot of poems and short stories. I'm just going to read a short poem that he wrote. It's entitled Life Could Be Beautiful. If we could stop all this fight and fuss, life would be beautiful all around us. No more fussing, not one more fight, then this world would be out of sight. So next time, just walk away, and maybe life would be beautiful someday. One more.
You could read all mine.
When I think of you, I find myself no longer blue. There are only happy thoughts and lots of love and good times, and some horrid rhymes. So don't be offended if I left untended. Express affection in verse with pen, hand, and lips of terse. For it is my desire to set you on fire and win your heart, but this is a feeble start. So if I may, on any given day, compensate with a kiss, then perhaps you won't miss this verbal nightmare because I do care, but may not realize that in everyone's eyes, although I do not know it, all agree I'm no poet. So accept my love without strings and excuse the things that cause me to do dumb things like this for you. I would like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I appreciate you celebrating David's life with us. I love everybody and appreciate it. Thank you.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning.
there he did it to me again. You know, that to me, Dave's not dead. He's not gone. You know, I can sit there. It feels good to cry. It feels good for my heart to be full because I got to hang out with that dude. I was the one that was lucky. You know, and it's changed my life to go through this. What I've said before, I'm blessed that he shared that with me because we got to be all the way there to the end. And then somehow, coincidence, we don't know what it was. We happened to be scattering his ashes at 7:30 on a Wednesday night, which is when we got together for coffee time. And, you know, so really we didn't miss a week because we saw him just the week before and hung out with him because when he couldn't leave or even if he couldn't get out of that bed, we were showing up there on Wednesdays too still. And the last time he was trying to get out of bed because he was like, coffee time's here, I need to get up and get moving. These guys were all there. And I don't know, like I said, there he did it. And he's just, every time I'll won't ever forget him anytime soon, you know.
I got one last thing I just wanted to share with everybody. A couple of weeks before David passed, we were sitting in the living room and we were having a discussion. This little cardinal came and sat on our little shepherd's hook that our flower was sitting on. And, you know, I said, you know what they say, that that's usually a loved one coming to visit you, and coming to say something to you. So we decided that at that time that it was his mom, Vicki, saying that she had a place for him. After some of these shots that we had, that when we scattered his ashes, that very next day, a cardinal came and sat on the shepherd's hook and sat. If anybody knows cardinals, they're pretty funny. They don't stick anywhere for long. And he sat there for a good 10 minutes to where I could take about 5 pictures of him. And that's Dave coming back to visit us. So if you see a cardinal, I truly believe that it's Dave coming to visit us. The same day that Lenny had scattered his ashes in Hawaii, after I had watched the video, a cardinal came and sat on the windowsill after I had watched the video and sat there for about 10 minutes. And just the other day, when me and Mom were out and about, I think he was looking for me. He came over to my parents' house and came inside the garage, a cardinal did, to visit my dad, mainly because they put the garage door up wrong. Okay. They're supposed to be experts in putting up a garage door, they were not. So my mom said that he looked at the bird and asked Dave what he wanted, and he just kind of sat there and he said that he put his head to one side and back to the other. So I think Dave's still here with us and he visits us. So if you see a cardinal, tell Dave hi.
And if you see an overweight cardinal with an Obama bumper sticker on it, you know, without a doubt that that's Dave.
Wearing horrible tie-dye pants.
So, and anyway, we got one last thing, you know, before we head out of here, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew, as you sit here, you were touched by Dave. Dave was touched by you. You know, he let a lot of people into his life, but not all the way in. So if you got all the way in, you were very special. And I think as we share here tonight, hopefully we've all healed. Hopefully, and it'll continue. And hopefully we got to express to you what we thought of our friend Dave. You know, and going through the footage, this party could have been a hell of a lot bigger. You know, that's my thing. But up until the last minute, so I was putting this big video together to open it up. You guys watched it. And I remember Dave, every time I have this grandiose project to put together, he'd say, man, give me some of that. Don't do all of that. Don't do it. So he made sure that I couldn't do all of that by myself. And the video didn't finish. I had to run over to Steve's house, and we're assholes and elbows, and it got done. You know, and I can just see him going, I told you, don't do it all by yourself. You know, I had the guys help out. That was the way he was. And, you know, that creative part. I think Dave and I kind of one-upped each other on ideas. And I'd tell him I was going to do something, I didn't do it. But I tell him I was going to do something, and then he'd get them creative juices going and produce a spot like the Monster cereal thing, or You Gotta Be Shitting Me, or Mr. Whiskers, which, you know, this is the first time anybody's seen it in that form. So, and he'll probably nobody else will probably ever see it. Or want to. But we'll have to make a mail order. But anyway, you guys have been fantastic. Everything that you shared has helped us through what we've gone through. I still can't believe, really, one, that he's gone. That's tough because I've been so close to all this footage and everything else. But the other part is that he let us in and let us be part of his life like we were. You know, when a lot of people get self-conscious about diseases or things like that, and they shut people out. And Dave invited it in and made that idea bigger and broader as it went on. Now that he's gone, obviously, you know, we'll continue to carry on the work. May change the name, but Happy Coffee Time will always be around. And it's because of Dave. And so, coming soon, as I always say, is the bed-in. Dave would have a fit about that. But coming soon, we're going to be setting up a charitable organization that will carry on Dave's work. And we'll have a donation page so you guys can help us start that out. But we're gonna continue to stay involved in our communities and in the lives of our friends and of your friends, so that dream and that idea never dies. So, you.
Hey, thanks for everybody for coming tonight. I wanted to share one thing about the Mr. Whiskers thing. Dave was in the hospital the day before we filmed that. He was feeling pretty bad, and you couldn't tell. That was just Dave. And I was fortunate enough to have taken like 2 weeks of vacation off at the end of the year, so I could spend a lot of time with him. I got to hang out with him those couple of weeks, you know, for a few days, and it was really cool to hang out with him and to do that little secret slice of Dave. We even got Kim involved in one of those videos where we kicked the sock puppet down through a ditch, and because he hated that sock. He well, he said he hated it, but he didn't. He hated Skip Salem, though. He's probably not real happy that he was up here doing karaoke. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. And you know what? Dan put in hours and hours and hours. Give it up for him. Let's show our appreciation to him for this. You know, and Ann and Mary and Rhonda for putting up with our shenanigans for the last 10 months. Kim especially, because at the end we were over at her house all the time and drinking her milk, making sure it was good. and that. So thanks everybody. Nothing? Going once? Oh yeah, we got that. You know, Dave would say this time, what time is it?
He's already late.
Am I in the center of the camera? I gotta make sure that's right. Okay. All right, one last bit, and then you're dismissed.
Oh, there's one last bit?
Dismissed.
There's one last bit.
All right, then we're done.
We're dismissed.
Love you. Have a good night.
Get some food.
Hey, real quick, everyone, the cops have a seatbelt checkpoint set up in Maine, and Uphold, so don't get a ticket leaving here tonight, please.
Right on. He's great.
Seatbelt check. As easy as
Sorry, James.
Again, thank you to the Riverbender for letting us come in and invade them for 3 hours or so, or more. Y'all have a good night and drive safely. Stop by the donation tent over there, table, and if you got anything left in the tank, we'll tell you.
It was awesome. It was a great experience.
No one you can save that can't be saved.